Hello, everyone. My name is Christian Eschbach, and welcome to another one of my album reviews. All right, we are going to get into some Bad Company. I picked this up, Bad Company, The Swan Song Years, 74 to 82. I haven't done a lot of research into Bad Company, and I knew I liked some Bad Company stuff, and I was looking for a greatest hits album. And most greatest hits albums are, first off, I couldn't find a Bad Company greatest hits album that had the songs on it that I at least knew, like all of the ones I knew. So when I saw this set, and it was what is it, like six discs, and I picked it up for like $52. Can't go wrong there, brand new even, right? And I'm happy I did pick it up, but as I said, I didn't know anything about Bad Company. Like, it's one of those bands that, like, I recognize album covers, like these two particular album covers. I know, sorry, hold that the wrong way. I know multiple people that had these two albums, and I'm reviewing this album today. But no one ever put the vinyl on. No one ever played the vinyl. No one ever had, like, mixtapes that, one album one side, one album the other side, stuff like that. And I don't know why. And it's one of those bands where I'm kind of glad I got into them later, because if I'd gotten into them earlier, they really would have probably changed a lot of my views and perspectives on music. So let me start off with, I want to talk about the band really quickly. I know I normally don't do this, but the reason I'm going to do it is Bad Company is technically a supergroup. A true blue 100% supergroup, as in every member came from another group. So you got Paul Rodgers and Simon Kirke, which were both in the band Free. Free's biggest song is "All Right Now, Baby, It's All Right Now." Okay, so you know the tune. And then you got Mick Ralphs from Mott the Hoople. Biggest song from Mott the Hoople, it was actually written by David Bowie, is "All the Young Dudes Carry the News." Ooh, song. Okay, so and then we've got on bass Boz Burrell, who is ex King Crimson. 20 years, centuries, schizoid man. Yeah, so. Whew. So you're talking like you got some primo talent going on here, all right? Every song on this album, all right, is amazingly constructed, beautifully constructed. Paul is not only the vocals, but he also plays piano. And there's multiple guitars going on in here, so I'm assuming one of the other guys would have had to have, for live purposes, played guitar. I'm thinking Paul maybe had to have a little bit. I'm not sure. I think it's really funny that Paul doesn't get quoted for the piano. I know at least playing it live, he does the piano stuff. Maybe he didn't on the album. Once again, didn't do too much research. I just wanted to listen to the tunes, man. And this is a cool inner jacket. I like that they preserve this for the set. Not too much else going on here. Pretty basic, but that's cool, man. All right, so the album's of Can't Get Enough. All right, this is one of those songs where it's a fun love song. It's one of those good love songs. One of those walk down the street, just kind of boogie into yourself. Can't get enough of your love. Oh, I can't get enough of your love. Just it's such a fun song. It's got great riffing in it. There's a little bit of soul to it, a little bit of blues. It's all rock and roll though, man. It's a great way to open up the album. Then you get to Rock Steady. And Rock Steady, this is some pretty basic blues chugging, which leads, pretty basic blues chugging during the verses. And then that leads into a slightly more dynamic chorus. which then goes into this like cool chilled back, guitar solo, and the whole thing just makes for a great cut, man. It's one of those ones where you can picture the guys back in their fucking Camaros back in the '70s. Rockstar, yeah, just banging your head, man, just having a good time to this one. It's a good heavy tune on the album. Okay, so then you get Ready for Love. Now here's where you kind of start to notice there's a lot of love music on this album. But the nice part is it's a good mix up. The downside is it really kind of alters the audience in a manner of speaking. Well, you have songs like Rock Steady, which are real heavy, which, a lot of guys are going to get into. Like I said, blaring it on the Camaro kind of thing, right? We're rock steady. Um, and Ready for Love is another song, which I'm going to get into in a moment. Another love song, but, got some power to it, some real, kind of go to it. Then, but the problem that goes with that is a lot of guys are kind of like, all right, that's a lot of love songs. A lot of love songs. But on the flip side, you pick up extra female audience that way that you wouldn't necessarily always get because, they're good tunes, man. You want to get down, make love to some of these songs, man. Yeah. All right. So back to Ready for Love. Speaking of getting down, make love. So this song in general kind of becomes the loose template for what is a Bad Company song, at least on the first two albums. I haven't given the later albums as much of a listen yet, which is why I'm only going to do the first two albums before I do some other stuff, and then I'll come back to Bad Company later. But with this, you get a few. With Bad Company so far, there's definitely a few styles they kind of tend to stick to. Not a huge, especially for the type of talent that's in this band. The music is always different. The music is always, unique and different played and stuff like that. But the overall kind of format, the process is similar. Okay. Moving on. So this one, it's got a thing where it starts out nice and soft and chill, and you get this on other songs, even on this album as well. This is a thing on Bad Company as well, right? Where you get that kind of nice, soft and chill kind of intro, man, laid back, sets a tone, ambiance kind of going on. Now this one, it isn't the piano doing it like it is on Bad Company, but then you get into it and it kind of does that pickup going to the chorus where all of a sudden it gets heavy. It's like, yeah, you can bang your head to this one as well, and not only slow dance, but and I personally love the style of doing that, where you have the nice chilled verses and then you get the pickup and you just kind of drive it home on the chorus, man, with this big heavy thunder roll. And it's definitely a concept that I, as a musician, have tried to mimic multiple times. Works great on stage. Much like even on this album, it doesn't work. It's definitely meant more for the stage, for that effect and that drama towards the audience. But while you can hear it on the album, it's not as dramatic on the album. Then you get to Don't Let Me Down, and it's sort of a take on the Beatles' Don't Let Me Down, sort of, but it's completely own separate beast. It's not a cover, it's not an homage, it's when you hear the Don't Let Me Down part of the song, you can definitely see where the Beatles rooftop kind of thing going on, sort of in its own little way. But the whole song is its own separate little song, and I'm just gonna let that go through. It's its own separate little song, and it's cool and it's enjoyable. I don't know if it's what I would have used to finish off the first side of the album necessarily. And I'm going to come back around to the way I would have mixed and produced this album different, or how I would have mixed the song orders a little bit differently on this album, because that is something that is an issue for me. And it comes up more so on the second side of the album. And the second side opens up with the legendary Bad Company. Beautiful song. I love that piano intro, man. That simple but beautiful. Oh, great way to kick off a song. And it's one of those songs I've always really enjoyed whenever I've heard it. But it took until, what was it, Five Finger Death Punch covered it for it to get some real love again. And I really did enjoy their cover. I thought it was pretty cool. Um, and my cat's bugging me at my feet. Right? Yeah. Okay. Now, one of the things I love about this song is not only is it one of the most badass sounding songs of all time, I think it's a highly misunderstood song. Um, and if you really don't know the song, or if you've only ever heard the Five Finger Death Punch version of it or whatever, you need to honestly pause this right now and go listen to the actual song. It's just, oh, such a good tune. Like, just hit pause, open up another tab, go listen to it, and just crank it up, man. You will not be disappointed. Um, the way I choose, for me, this one's a misfire. I'm not into having a ballad on side A and side B. I know there's a lot of bands that do that, and this is this goes with what I was saying earlier. With I find that too kind of lovey, kind of, and it really kind of detracts from the album a little bit. That being said, man, they really let the soul side play out on this track. It's a really good, solid track. I just think it's too much on the balladed side, especially considering there's still more slow to come, and I'll get into this some more as we go. All right, so we got moving on. Now I remember moving on actually still getting played on the radio in the '90s, especially like you could count on it on a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon. Classic. You'd be outside having a barbecue or whatever, and you just have the tunes cranking and whatnot, and it would come across on the radio at least at one point on a weekend, at least up until the mid '90s for sure. And I'm sure it still gets played every now and then. I just don't put the radio on as much anymore unless I'm in a car with somebody. Anyways, and then we get the last song on the album, Seagull. And that double ballad I was talking about earlier kills the song placements on this album. And it causes a good song like this that should be something unique musically on this album to be placed in the wrong spot. Seagull to me should have been the closer on side A, but if you'd made it the closer on side A, it definitely would have completely slowed down B to the point where the only song on side B that would have gotten any love would have been Bad Company, and you'd be hoping that Moving On get picked up as well. And I really think that if they had just altered song placements a little bit on here, or come up with another faster number to replace The Way I Choose, and just move The Way I Choose to the next album, which wouldn't be that far off anyways. There's only a year between each album. So I that would have been the way I would have personally pushed for it, but that's just me. Those are my thoughts. Those are my opinions. Overall, I think this is a fantastic album, and I do regret that I got this album so late in life. I think if I had picked up in high school, it would have definitely changed the way I viewed music in high school. Too much might have even pulled me a little bit out of my metal zone, which would have been bad for me because, wow, man, high school sucked, man. I went to a school that was horrible with the way that they did their divisions with music and stuff like that. Anyways, that's it, folks. If you don't have this album, go pick up this album. To be honest, if you go pick up this set. If you find this set, go pick this set up. It's totally worth the money. Like I said, I paid like 52 bucks. That's also Canadian dollars. That's 6 albums, brand new. Sure, you don't get as much of everything, but it's great set, man. Really get you into a really good band during a really good time in music. Long as you are okay with all the love, yes. All right, folks, that's enough. Okay, I'm done with that. Leave your comments. Let me know what you think below. Like button, subscribe button, bell for notifications. On your way down to the comments, you will see there is a link that will take you to Patreon. Um, I have big stuff coming for my Patreon soon. There's also a link to TWA, which is a new channel I have got going, totally separate from this, totally separate production. I do the production side of it. Great guys that do the wrestling side of it. Great time. Go check that out. Other than that, peace, love, take care.